My beloved, come closer in the quiet of your breath and listen, as if the air itself were speaking your name. Feel this voice arrive like a warm hand laid across your chest, steadying the tremor you have carried for too long, and know in the marrow of your bones that you were not overlooked, but carefully tended in the secret hours. There is no hurry here. Just stay with me as the room of your heart uncloses and light slips in, soft, sure, golden, unraveling the tightness that thought spun around your hope. Hear me like the hush before dawn. I have been with you in the small pauses, in the nights made long by worry and questions, in the days you put on courage as if it were clothing. I have not been absent. I have been the quiet pressure, sculpting you in ways the world could not see, turning every bruise into a place that would hold compassion, every closing into a hidden chamber of preparation. Let the stillness claim you for a moment, and picture a gentle warmth settling around your shoulders like sunlight sliding across skin. This warmth carries a memory of every kindness you offered when no one applauded, every forgiveness you chose when bitterness felt easier, every small insistence to get up again. Those things have weight. They are not invisible. They have been the architecture of your strength. Visualize now a stream of soft light pouring into the hollow places inside you, golden, slow, deliberate, filling cracks with a honeyed warmth that sings of healing. Imagine the living water of peace seeping into worn places, rearranging how you stand and breathe. Visualize a great gate before you, old and steadfast, its iron unyielding until my hand touches the latch. Watch the hinges sigh and the gate swing wide to reveal fields you could not reach before, fields of possibility, wide plains of new beginning, orchards seeded with things you thought were lost. Visualize miracle rain, a gentle shower of blessings that falls not in torrents, but in measured drops that find every thirsty root, coaxing bud and blossom where you had only barren soil. These scenes are real in the chamber of your spirit. They are not metaphors to flatter your longing, but actual rearrangements of destiny, hugging place as you breathe with me now. Do not mistake the silence you endured for abandonment. It was the hush of deep work, like a smith at the forge who quiets the workshop to focus the fire, so that what emerges from your trials would be refined and luminous, rather than brittle and temporary. The delays you fretted over were not punishments. They were precise calibrations, pauses engineered by compassion, so that when abundance arrived, it would sit lightly in your hands rather than crush your heart with a weight you were not yet ready to carry. Your endurance has been noticed in the heavens where only the truest acts are recorded. The nights you stayed awake whispering for others, the mornings you offered a smile while inside you wondered if anything would ever change, the moments you swallowed resentment and chose peace. Each of these was an offering that altered the pattern of your life. Receive this truth and let it settle deep. Nothing you have offered in faith has been wasted. Now rise, my child. Rise not in frantic striving, but in the calm authority that comes from knowing you are accompanied by a power that arranges events with tender precision. I speak into the hollow of your fear and tell it to rest. I place a lantern where confusion sat and invite you to follow the path lit one step at a time. You are not being shaped for humiliation, but for honor. The humbling seasons were the quiet classrooms where humility was taught and gratitude was grafted into your soul. When you felt stripped, it was because I was making room to place greater things into your hands. When doors remained closed, it was because I had better gates planned and steadier thresholds prepared for you. Let go of measuring your worth by speed or spectacle. Your value has never been tied to applause or to visible trophies. It is rooted in an identity woven by love, in a belonging that does not rise or fall with circumstances. Breathe in this belonging like air. Breathe out the need to justify yourself to a world that can only see the surface. In this breathing, feel a soft unburdening, an old armor loosening its straps, the heavy coat of opinion sliding from your shoulders, revealing the skin that was always meant to feel light. I have held you in ways that are not loud. I have been the unseen hand catching each tear, cradling every whispered prayer and turning your most honest small faith into the foundation for something vast. There is a quiet victory in every time you chose trust over certainty, hope over surrender, love where bitterness could have ruled. These quiet triumphs echo in places you cannot yet perceive and prepare a harvest of joy that will seem, to the surprised parts of you, like sudden spring after a long winter. Allow your imagination to be a conduit now. See a golden river coursing toward you, not to flood and drown, but to irrigate and restore. Watch it wind through the landscapes of your days, bringing unexpected greenery, coaxing seeds you forgot you planted to stir and push up toward the sun. See a gate open, grand, luminous, each hinge an answered prayer. Step forward into fields of abundance, with shoes soft from the road but feet sure in their direction. Feel the rain of small miracles, an encouraging voice at the perfect hour, a chance that arrives like a quiet knock, a reconciliation that begins with one brave word, landing on your life, and echoing not only in outcomes, but in the peace that enters you as result. I command you now, receive this blessing. Let the prosperity of your soul rise, and let material abundance follow as a natural fruit of the internal richness you have cultivated. Wealth is not a stranger to the tender-hearted. It is a natural companion to those who have been faithful in small things. And as your heart opens, permission is given for doors of provision to align, for allies to appear who will help carry what you cannot lift alone, for resources you never imagined to be channeled into your hands. Do not fear the appearance of abundance. It is not meant to inflate you, but to equip you, to widen your capacity to love and serve without counting cost. There is a freedom that comes when you trust that provision is not a cruel trick, but a covenant. A promise that when you align your inner life with truth, outer circumstances will reflect that alignment. See now the image of a table set under a sky of soft blue, laden not only with food but with golden tokens that represent opportunity. Letters offering new work, messages that open doors, small notes of affirmation. And know that each one is a seed that, when planted with gratitude, will multiply. The transformation in you is both subtle and seismic. Subtle because it unfolds within the quiet of your choices. Seismic because it will shift trajectories you long thought fixed. Let the tenderness you learned in lonely nights become the very compassion that will mend other hearts and connect you to people who need the kind of hope you now embody. This is not merely about survival. It is a remaking into a conduit for healing, an instrument through which many will find courage. Your scars are not liabilities. They are archives of testimony. They will carry warmth and credibility, drawing others toward your light. There is a refining fire you have passed through that did not burn to destroy, but to purify. And in that purging, something new was birthed inside you, a resilience that is not brittle, but flexible, a faith not built on naive certainty, but on a tested, lived intimacy. Remember the small acts, feeding a weary neighbor, staying when leaving would have been easier, speaking truth with gentleness. These are the quiet currencies of the kingdom I am placing in your hands. They will buy you favor in places money never could. When temptation to compare arises, return to the rhythm of your own story. You were never built to mirror another's pace. Your timetable has been guided by a wisdom that sees the end from the beginning and will not rush what must ripen. Trust the patient unfolding. Let gratitude become your practice and watch how it reframes your days. Gratitude is not an escape from longing, but the solvent that makes room for joy to enter. Begin now to list, within, the small things. The warmth of a cup in your hands. A voice that called to check on you. The sunlight that dressed your morning. Let each one be a brick in the sanctuary of your trust. In the quiet, place your hand over your heart and feel the steady cadence beneath your palm. That rhythm is the pledge that everything you have entrusted is being tended. Hear me. You are not defined by your failures, nor confined by past sorrow. You are being reassembled into an instrument of wonder. The parts you feared were broken will be joined in ways that make you more useful, more compassionate, more alive than you were before. Some of the changes you long for will come softly, in a conversation, in a letter, in a morning when the heaviness lifts with no dramatic fanfare. Those are the ones I tend carefully. Others will come with the rush of recognition, a sudden clarity, a meeting that tilts everything. Both are gifts. Both are mine to time. When doubt creeps in, do not punish yourself. Simply return to breath. Each inhale draws in possibility. Each exhale releases the pressure to manufacture answers before they are ready. Practice surrender as an act of intelligence. It is not resignation, but strategic release. Say aloud if you can, I hand this over. Speak it not as a ritual, but as a turning. A handing of the map to the cartographer who knows the terrain. There are practical steps for you to walk in the days ahead. A choice to say yes when previously you said no out of fear. A moment to speak an honest word that clarifies a relationship. A decision to step into a new rhythm of work that honors both need and rest. Attend to these nudges. They are not trivial. They are the small hinges on which large doors swing. I will walk with you through each turn. You will find confirmation in unexpected places. A word from a friend that echoes what has been building in you. An opportunity that arrives seemingly by chance. A payment that arrives in a way that feels like mercy. These are the signposts of my fidelity. Within 72 hours you may notice a moment of easing. A peace that falls at a time when you were braced for bad news. A conversation that opens a door. A clarity that cuts through confusion. Mark it. Let it be a witness in your memory of how gentle intervention operates. Not all promises unfold on your timetable. Sometimes I am rearranging the pieces to better serve you in the long run. When you are tempted to protect your heart by lowering expectations, remember that small hope, spoken into the quiet, is a detonator of new realities. Risk hope, risk small trust. I will do the enlarging. Your voice, tender, sometimes trembling, sometimes bold, will matter. When you choose to speak a word of encouragement, to forgive a slight, to step toward reconciliation, you are doing more than tending relationships. You are participating in a restoration that rebounds in ways unseen. This life you hold is not a list of failures and successes, but a tapestry being woven with threads you may not yet trace. Let compassion be your loom. Let humility be your pattern. Let expectancy be the light you stitch by. There is a special kind of wealth that flows when your interior life and your outer life begin to sing the same song. It is not just monetary gain, but the richness of peaceful mornings, generous relationships, creativity that births purpose, and an ability to give without fear. Envision a chest being filled slowly with treasures that reflect your true abundance. Time that feels expansive instead of scarce. Relationships that return your investment in love. Opportunities that honor your gifts. These treasures will come because you have been faithful in the hidden things. This is the law at work. What is sown quietly will yield abundantly. Receive it as an economy of grace. When you feel small, remember I have marked you with dignity from the beginning. You are known. No prayer slips past unnoticed. The names you whisper for those you love are held carefully in a heart that counts each sigh. Entrust them to me and let the burden lighten. Parenting, partnership, friendship, these are sacred fields where you are invited to practice patience and mighty tenderness. Release the illusion that you must fix everything. Participate and then rest in the assurance that I am working in the spaces you cannot access. Forgiveness will become a key that opens more than doors. It will unchain your hands to receive. When old wounds resurface, bring them into the light of my attention. Do not hide them beneath busyness or self-reliance. I will meet them with a balm that is not denial but healing. Let the past be a teacher, not a jailer. Now, breathe with intention. Gather all the small faith you can muster, those thin threads of trust, and hand them over like fragile seedlings. I will tend them into a forest. Speak these affirmations as a chorus into the quiet of your room. I am seen. I am provided for. I am chosen for abundance. I am guided by light. I am anchored in love. Let each declaration land like a stone placed with care, building a cairn of testimony upon which you will stand when storms come. These phrases are not magic, but reminders of the reality that shapes you. Hold them close. There will be moments when the world tempts you to measure success by speed, by volume, by applause. Resist that measurement. Measure instead by the steadiness of your heart, by how quickly you return to gratitude, by the depth of your compassion when provoked. These are true metrics of spiritual wealth. Expect also the practical. Doors will open that will allow you to use your gifts to bless others and to provide for your own needs with dignity. Opportunities will surface not to inflate your ego, but to extend your capacity to do good. Prepare yourself to receive with a humble heart and generous hands. In times of anxiety, let my words become a lullaby to your racing thoughts. You are not alone, you are not forgotten, you are being formed. Practice resting in the knowledge that even when you cannot see the whole road, a faithful presence walks before and behind you, making paths where none existed. Return often to silence. It is there you will hear the gentle clarion of guidance, not a shout but a call that nudges the next step into being. When you sense resistance, old fears, prudent caution, the urge to protect, ask whether the resistance is preserving life or preventing it. Choose bravery, not recklessness. A small, steady step can birth an entirely new season. Part of your transformation is learning to trust that missteps are not the end, but data for rerouting. They are not disqualifications, but detours that refine intention. Where shame once loomed, I am planting dignity. Where despair lingered, I am sowing hope. Where loneliness beat a hollow drum, I am building a company of hearts that will walk with you. Do not be surprised if people appear who mirror the shift happening inside you. A mentor who gives a timely word, a friend who offers practical help, a stranger whose kindness arrives like a key. Notice these moments and take them as confirmations that a new tempo is descending on your life. As you adopt this new rhythm, you will find your internal compass recalibrating. Your decisions will grow steadier, your appetite for petty anxieties will shrink, and your capacity to steward blessings will widen. I'm not calling you to simple passivity. I'm inviting you to a dynamic partnership where your action and my provision meet. Take practical steps. Apply, speak, mend, rest, while holding loose the need to control outcomes. In the interplay of your obedience and my orchestration, miracles meet the mundane. Keep watch for the subtle signs, an idea that will not leave you, a door that opens after persistent knocking, a reconciliation that begins because you choose the first honest word. These are not coincidences, they are the choreography of grace. Finally, as you prepare to step back into your day, receive this closing benediction. into the very center of your being. You are beloved beyond measure, serviceable beyond your imagining, and about to witness the gentle eruption of blessing into places that have hungered. Let gratitude be your garment and courage your cadence. Speak once more with conviction and softness. I am ready to receive. I am chosen for abundance. I am guided by light. I am one with compassionate power. I am freed to give and to receive. Keep these words like a lamp at your breast. Walk forward, beloved, in the steady company of a presence that never leaves or forsakes you. Your next season is being unfurled. Trust, breathe, and go.